Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our 22nd podcast. First thing I want to say thank you for the follow probably yesterday from Matt 48103. Thank you. I really appreciate it, my dude. Really appreciate it, my dude. Like, thank you. Um, so thank you. Also, if you are noticing, why is it not called TNL Podcast? Why is it not called TNL Ministry Service? Because I'm pretty sure some people, which is the first thing I wanted to bring up, is that why is it not called that? Like, why? Because we are going, if you have not been paying attention or have not been listening, we have been going into a new direction, a different vibe, if you will. So, we are going to be called the Spiritual Squadron Ministry, SSM for short. So, we're going to get a new logo. We don't have that. I'm pretty sure I could probably change the Twitch stream name probably soon. I'm pretty sure that I can. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure I can least can. If I like spend time and try to find out if I like really legit can. I'm pretty sure I can. I say that now. I don't want to make a new Twitch thing just because yeah, you can change it. You can change your yeah, you can be able to change your username. So we can be able to change it. So that's fine. We don't have to do a new Twitch thing. We're just waiting for a new logo. Um, TNL will be officially gone and everything. It's gonna be brand new, spanking new ministry. You know, we're still gonna be doing the same kind of fence. We're still gonna be doing these podcasts. Like we're still gonna be continuing them, but under a different name. So if people's like, where's the SSM podcast #1? Sound like, well, they will have to look at TNL, to at least remember that TNL was there, to have somewhat remembrance of it. But anyway, with all that aside, welcome to the podcast. I really have nothing prepared for this podcast. I'll be completely honest. I don't even know what to talk about. Like, there's not much going on, unless I'm missing something. I'm living under a rock like Patrick Star. But other than that, I really don't know like what to like really talk about. I legit don't even know. To like what to talk about. Like I could talk about video games, but I kind of already talked about Switch enough, and there's not really new Switch news, except that the Mario Golf game came out, and I know some people are enjoying that game. I do. I don't know if I'm gonna pick the game up. I don't know. That's like a different subject entirely. I don't know if I really want that game. I won't tell you I'm pretty scared one plus two. But other than that, I just wish I had people be like, hey, I want to be able to see what you have to say about this topic. I want, like, what do you think about this, Hylian? Or what do you think about this? I would love to hear it, but guess what? I don't get nothing like that. Like, it'd be nice to have this blank box be filled, like people chatting. But instead, it stays blank because no one wants to put anything in there. It's blank. Look at it. It's a blank black box. I mean, look at it. I'm touching it. I'm touching it. I'm touching it. I'm putting my finger in the box. Um, I mean, I can possessively talk about minis. Because if y'all have been here for a while, I did a service tied into one of the minis during our Winter Bash event. A big event that we had back in February. Yeah, February. Couldn't think of it at the top of my head. But because the minis have kind of died down. You know, the last mini that I remember officially releasing was Sega, and them doing an actual mini, not one of them plug-in like play things and stuff like that. I mean, actual mini that they have made. Um, but I only picked up three minis. The Super Nintendo, Nintendo, and PlayStation One. I probably wasted money on picking the PlayStation One, but it just looks so cute minified, and you could mod it, so it's fine. And plus, you could be able to use a DualShock controller, so it's fine for it, you know, to be able to do something like that. But they just kind of stopped. I mean, you would think Nintendo, you know, after releasing an NES and a Super Nintendo, you might think that hey, they could release a N64 Mini. And that used to be a very hot topic that would go around the gaming community going, when is the Nintendo 64 coming out? When is the Mini? You know, we want to play like Ocarina of Time or Mario 64, and it never came. You know, so the hype kind of died down, like with the Switch Pro. You know, just kind of just went down into the ground. You know, people were getting hyped for it, getting mad. Nintendo's going, "Where is it? Where is my Switch Pro? Where is my Nintendo 64 Mini? Please give it to me. I have money in my bank account. Nintendo, please hear your fans. They are willing to pay you money." I can do something like that. But it used to be a hot topic. But then it died down because people thought that, oh, you know, Nintendo ain't gonna do one. Like, it's not realistic anymore. Like, like it was very rumor after the Super Nintendo released. Um, they were like, "Oh my gosh, N64 Mini! I mean, look at all the great games." And it's coming into like there is still some rumors. I'm not lying to you. I am not lying to you. Because the Super Nintendo and Nintendo Mini were doing good in their sales. Like people were buying it like it was hotcakes. Like I even got myself one and it was scalped on eBay with a pretty penny, if you ask me, a pretty big penny. So you would think that success, you know, because the Super Nintendo, I believe, came out in 2017. That's like 3 years, and you're probably thinking of why do you need to talk about it now? Like, why are we talking about it now? Because actually, there is a little tiny rumor. It's not a whole lot, because, you know, it died down. But the thing is, they have actually confirmed that they want to make more classic mini consoles. So we don't know what the company is planning. So we can assume Nintendo 64. We can assume the N64. But at the same time, they can also do handhelds mini. I don't know how you would plug it up, or unless you just play it on the go and it just has games installed on it. Like, here's a Game Boy, a gray brick, and we have 20 installed games on it. Good luck. And it's a mini, like, it wouldn't work. It would have to be a mini. So I would suggest to plug it up to a system, but I don't know. But the next system that they did in their lineup was the Nintendo 64 to go against the PlayStation 1, to go against the Sega Saturn way back in the late 90s. There's games that people would love to see, Super Mario 64, that has to be on there. Zelda games, that has to be on there. Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and blah 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 this and blah 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 that. You know, the thing is though, there's games that I would like to see, but I don't know how many they're gonna put because I don't think 20 games. I mean, 20 is kind of a solid list of games. I mean, 20 games is not bad to put on a mini, but if you look at the PS1, for its 20 built-in games, it kind of sucked. Like, you want to mod it. Usually, you don't want to mod the other two consoles, you know. So, you have to think of, like, when the PS1 Mini, you have to think of what titles sell the PS1. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. That is one of many classic PS1 titles. Did it come included with the Mini? No. You can mod it and put it on there, you know. And the release of Crash Bandicoot, with the Insane Trilogy at that time. You would think that they would put the Crash games on there and the Spyro games, but they didn't do that to put on the Mini. Nope. So it comes to a time where they do want to make more movies. They do. But it comes to, are they really? Or are they just saying that? Nintendo confirmed it. They didn't confirm a Switch Pro, but they confirmed minis. They didn't say N64 mini, but they said minis. Then that could possibly include the N64 mini. And there are great games that came out with it. I would love to see Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. I know probably not a lot of people would care for that game or anything, but that game really rocks. Like, I love that game, and I love how they re-released it. Like, it's not HD or anything, but it was a fun racer for its time. I would have to say maybe even better than Mario Kart 64 because of how much I really, really enjoyed Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. Like, I enjoy that tons of times. I don't know how many, if anybody's actually listening in, I don't know how many people actually, sat down and played that game. To me, I love that game. That game was fun. I enjoy it. It was good. You know, it was a very, very fun type racing game. And it was just fun. So you have that. I would love to see Super Mario 64. That honestly has to be on there. And I also think that this also came out for N64. I want to look and make sure. No, it did not. It came out for the GameCube. Never mind. So that game can't come to the N64. For some odd reason, I thought, oh, that game was. I think that game came out on the N64. I think. And I could just sit there and go, yeah, maybe. I think they should include the Resident Evil 2. Now, hear me out. The N64 port was amazing for its time to how to fill in, because you have to remember the PS1. If we look at the PS1 version of Resident Evil 2, it includes two discs. One for Leon, one for Claire. It includes both discs. And you have to think of how can you compress them in an N64 cartridge. So it was amazing for its time period. It was really amazing for its time period. So I would love to see that on an N64 Mini. You know, that's the only Resident Evil game that they have. They didn't have the first one, they only have the second one. So if they could, I would honestly be all for it. Be like, yeah, that sounds great. Let's do this. So I honestly think that they should put the Resident Evil 2 on the N64 Mini. And also Mario Kart 64. I mean, come on, it's Mario Kart. Like in the Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, like those games are classics. Like they have to be on there. Like nothing can surpass them. Like they have to be on there. Like it is kind of a given. Like just put them on there. Just magically put them on there. I think they should include Kirby 64, you know, for people that are playing. Like, I know there was somewhat of Kirby game that came out. I think they should put Kirby 64. That will be great. And I want to be really, really honest with you guys and girls. I don't like Star Fox. I can care less if Star Fox came to N64. I mean, they can prove me wrong. I mean, Super Nintendo Mini, they included two Star Fox games. But at the same time, I don't care about Star Fox. I can care less for Star Fox. Star Fox just can just die in a hole. Like it's never been my cup of game. I know other people love Star Fox. Especially the N64 version. They treasure it like it's like nobody's business. They will sit there and probably even say it's the best N64 game. But to me, I could care less. I really could care less about Star Fox. It's just it never been my thing going, ooh, you know what we need? Star Fox 64. So it's like, no. Like, no. Like, come on, no. Another game that I think that they should put on the N64, as I'm sitting here thinking, I forgot what my brain was like. Okay, I know what game, but then they just kind of. I think they should go Bomberman 64. Now, hear me out. Bomberman 64. Um, the second attack. That was a good Bomberman game. I'm including games that barely people would want to include. We can include the popular titles, but I'm going in there and like nitpicking the like titles um that I would love to see on an N64 Mini. So I already mentioned Mario Kart 64, both of the Zelda games. So you have three games: Super Mario 64, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, Resident Evil 2, Kirby 64, and Bomberman 64. So we have 8 games on the list right now. So I think they should also include Donkey Kong 64. Donkey Kong 64 at its time and still and right now is the only 3D Donkey Kong game. You know, I know some people don't like the game and kind of preferred 2D Donkey Kong games, but to me I still treasure. I still like it. I still want it. Um, so that's 9 and 10 to leave it at the 10 mark right now. Hey, foundation. What formal foundation? Okay, welcome. Hi, welcome, welcome to the podcast. I'm sitting here talking about the N64 Mini because Nintendo confirmed that there will be minis, so I'm confirming them. I'm just going over Paper Mario, for the N64, which I think should be included. Um, Also, I know some people may not like. Want to give me the answer to an important question? What question? The N64 Mini? What question? What question do you have? Want to give me an answer to an important question? What question? What answer are you going to provide? Question mark, question mark. Question mark. About the N64 Mini? What? I'm just gonna wait. Anyway, I know a lot of people actually critique this game and really don't like this game. Um, After you get used to it, I'm gonna say this right now. If you get used to it, if you really get used to it, you might actually really understand the controls and kind of why it's a good game. I am going to give you an opportunity. What? I'm going to give you an opportunity to go back in time to a single point in time. You can remove a single item from the system. We're talking single item, no people. So removing the tank. I want to know which tank was removed. You aim to make the best outcome in the future. Go. I don't know. That's a strange question to ask. I don't know. To really answer your question, I don't know. I'm just sitting here doing a podcast, so I don't know. I don't know what one thing I would go back and remove. I don't. I don't really know. One item, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. To go back to the N64 Mini, by the way, I think Diddy Kong Racing should be also included. Next to Mario Kart 64 to have three racers. I know it's three kind of. I know it's kind of like the same formula, but there will be three different racers. You'll have Star Wars Episode One racer, then Mario Kart 64, and then Diddy Kong Racing. I think Diddy Kong Racing deserves to be on the N64, and definitely the original Smash Bros. That's like a given. Like everybody likes the original Smash Bros. Like that is a given. Okay, enjoy your podcast. You're welcome to stay, my dude. I just don't know the answer to your question. Was just trying to raise a few questions. I mean, you can raise maybe another question, but I don't have an answer for that. You can raise a different question. I honestly don't know what I'll remove. If I go back in time, I don't know what I'll remove. Like to be completely honest with you, I really have zero, yeah, zero ideas of what I would do. If I were to go back in time, I don't know. If you can go back to a certain event in the past, where would you go? You can go back but not interact, only watch. Yes, I agree with science. Okay, if you go back in a certain event in the past, where would you go? You could go back but not interact, only watch. Well, that kind of sucks. Any event? I don't know. Any event. I like how we went from this from N64 to talking about just random questions. Any event. I don't think there's any particular offense that I can really think of. And what's with it going back into the past? Especially if you can't answer right with the offense. I was gonna say E3. Uh, but but since you said only watch, I don't know. Being conceived? Conceive of what? Formal Foundation, are you here to troll? I don't know who you are. I have no idea who you are. Anyway, back to the N64 Classic. Rayman 2 should be on there. You know, I know it's kind of another platformer. Rayman 1 was not on the N64. Only Rayman 2 is. That's the thing. Like Resident Evil 1 was not on the N64, but Resident Evil 2 is on the 64, and then you have Rayman 2 only on the N64, and then that's weird. I'm just now not really realizing that, but it's just weird. Oh, another good platformer that should be on the N64 is Banjo Kazooie. Banjo Kazooie and maybe Banjo Tooie. Those are great platforming games, by the way. I know I'm including all these platforming games. I haven't even included GoldenEye. I honestly can't, like, I do kind of like the game, don't get me wrong. I know it's popular, but just because it's popular doesn't mean I will enjoy it any more or any less. But for my foundation, I don't know where you're going with all that. To be really, really honest with you, I don't know where you are taking with your questions. Like, to be conceived? Like, are you trying to bring me down? Are you just trolling? Or I don't know who you are. I mean, you're formal and you're a foundation, so a foundation is formal. So I guess a foundation wearing formal clothing. I don't know. Let's see, what else could go good with the N64 Mini? If it does come out. I'm just saying what Formal will say. Maybe doing my first front flip off a diving board. I know I keep saying that, but I never sit there and said it yet. I don't think I can do a first flip. I think I'll crush my skull and die. Maybe not that gruesome, but I mean, I probably can't even do a first flip. You know what? Let's just include GoldenEye. Let's include GoldenEye because it's popular. I mean, why not? I mean, I wouldn't mind it. Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. So that will be probably my N64 mini list. If the N64 mini ever came out, that's my list. I know it has some strange games on this list, and it's not. There are some popular games. I would agree that should be on the list. You know, Smash. You know, the original GoldenEye, Mario Kart 64, both the Zelda's Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and Super Mario 64. Those are like top tier games that everybody at least knows, or even people have played. It's driving me nuts. What's driving you nuts? The formal foundation, dude? I don't know. What's driving you nuts? And I don't even know if the Form Foundation do the tier anyway. Saying like I'll go back and watch you being conceived. Like, are you just here to troll? Yeah, sure. There's a squirrel behind me. Sure, 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 sure. I don't know who was that saying like I would watch you be conceived. That would be a great event to watch. I think. Do you see that? Like it's right there. I even highlighted it. I go back and watch you being conceived. Like, like for on a real note here. Why do you think that's a great event? Like seriously. Like I feel like that's just a troll. Trolls can be trolls. No, I'm not gonna look. But that's what I think of the N64 Mini. However, if they do a GameCube Mini, they need to include Wind Waker. They need to include Twilight Princess. They need to include Metroid Prime 1. They need to include Metroid Prime 2. They need to include Senses Hit and Run. They need to include the Resident Evil games, preferably 1 and 2, or maybe just all of them. Just put all of them on the Mini. And there you go. There's your GameCube Mini. And maybe Sunshine. People like Sunshine. I don't like Sunshine. But there you go. There's your GameCube Mini. Oh, maybe Super Monkey Ball. Just to throw in there. There's your Mini. Or maybe even throw in Rayman 3. There's your Mini. There's your Mini. There's your GameCube Mini. But they have confirmed it though. They have confirmed that there's more minis to come. The question is what minis are coming? Because it is a very good question to ask. And I'm not going to look, by the way. But it is a very good question to ask. It's like, are they for real with this? And plus, did they just drop putting it on the Switch Online services? Because as you can see, they released Super Mario 3D All Stars, right? And Super Mario 64 is on there. And it has been confirmed that it is using a emulator. That has been confirmed. That it's been using a emulator. That has been confirmed. But the thing is that what are they going to do it for real? And did they just drop the Switch Online? Because you have Super Mario 64 and Sunshine and Galaxy. An N64 emulator, a GameCube emulator, and a Wii emulator. And they're all in one package, and it's gone. You can't even get the games anymore. Good luck on trying to get the games. Really good luck trying to get them. Like for real, good luck on like trying to get those games. But it's like what are they doing? If they intend to do that, you know. But that's what I think. I mean, it's confirmed. It has been leaked, and I just want to mention that and kind of mention my take and kind of what games that I would like to see on it. If it ever does release, like release, I would love to see those games. But it's probably going to be the more popular N64 games, or even like with the PS1 Mini with their weird lineup of games. You know, but that's why I would love to see the N64 Mini. Include the popular ones, but include like Star Wars Episode One Racer. It's a great racing game. Banjo Kazooie, at least include the Kazooie one. I mean, Tui can be kind of left out, but at least include the Banjo Kazooie. That's a platformer. Include Rayman 2. So you have different types of platformers. You have one shooter, you have different types of racing. You have like one horror game, Resident Evil 2. Um, and you have this weird Castlevania game because I think even though it's a terrible, people say it's a terrible game, but I think people should look at it and also include Bomberman 64 and Kirby 64. Where games like E.T. Well, on the PS1 lineup, like at first it looked promising. Like it looked promising. with their lineup before actually showing the games that were coming on. I believe they showed like Final Fantasy VII, um, Rage Racer, and Wild Arms, and all that, and they didn't include the list. And then when it came out, it's like this honestly does not really represent of what the PS1 does. And when the PS1 Mini came out, it didn't have analog sticks like this controller. It is the original PS1 controller. The original. I can get that out and let y'all look at it. The original. It does not include analog stick, but there are games that kind of includes it and makes the games better with the analog stick. Like I don't mind this from time to time, but like analog stick, like Rainbow Six, you need an analog stick. Metal Gear Solid analog stick. But these games are just weird. There's some games that I like that's on here. Like Resident Evil Director's Cut. Great game. Probably like really great. I wish they include Resident Evil 2 on there. And stuff like that. They include Rayman, which I think Rayman 2 is better than Rayman 1. But that is just a me as a Rayman fan. It will also include because they also had all the Final Fantasy games for the PS1 Mini, but their lineup was just weird. Like Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, does that really represent PS1? Mr. Driller, does Jumping Flash, Intelligent Cube, you know, Battle Arena Tashinda? Like, who have actually heard these games? Like, when you think of PS1, you don't think of Mr. Driller. You don't think of Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. You don't think of those games. You think of Resident Evil, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Those games. Crash Bandicoot, Spyro. You have these great games that people have fun. These games is just random. Like I feel like they were just throwing a dart at a board and going, "Yeah, we're picking that game." You know, like I think there's only 364 games total. That came out on its life cycle for the N64. About 300. I could be wrong on that number, but I think it's about 300 for the whole entire library because the N64 didn't sell that great. It didn't. But um never well, yeah. So, yeah. So about 300 N64 games. So there's not a whole lot of N64 games that they can choose. I mean, they can choose really random ones, but I hope that they pick the list that I think should be the 20 games should be on the N64 mini. You know, I don't know if you have a mini, Dustin, or Formal Foundation. If Formal Foundation is going to come back. I think Formal Foundation just came here to troll. But I don't know why I still have that highlighted. Okay. So, it's being linked again. That's why I wanted to mention it because I never talked about the minis in my podcast before. And I just been talking about upcoming things that are happening with the Switch. So, hopefully you're looking forward to the mini. Hopefully the mini is, exciting if they're actually going to do it. I don't know if they're going to really do it. That's the thing. They said that they're going to do more minis, but doing an N64 mini, is like, people are, kind of just contemplating, but they said it's possible to have more minis coming in the future. I know people, says on their list, like F-Zero X. Haven't mentioned it. It's not a great game or bad game. Mario Party 2 or 3. I mean, you could put a Mario Party game on there. Wave Race 64, it was okay. Um, you know, Cruising World, that's a good, cool little racing game. An Xbox Mini, I never cared for Xbox, but I doubt that's on Microsoft. That is completely on Microsoft if they ever want to do a mini. Nintendo has confirmed more minis. I don't think Sony's going to do another mini. They haven't done a PlayStation 2 mini, and I don't think they're going to do that. Uh, you know, but this list, he said like 180 snowboarding, snowboard kids, eh, and people was like Smash, Kirby 64, Donkey Kong 64, and Banjo Kazooie, and Banjo Tooie. Those are the games. Those are the games. You know, Microsoft is fine, man. Well, I don't care for Microsoft that much. Like they showed some great games during their E3 presentation that I watched, but more than likely I'm probably not gonna play any of them. Like I honestly don't see the point in playing them. Like for Horizon's cool, doesn't seem my type. Halo doesn't seem like my type. I mean, they do have some companies now, like Bethesda, how they're ruining and reckoning Fallout 76. But hey, they're doing Psychonauts too. That I might actually pick up. But I already talked about all that in my other podcast. Dustin, if you want to go watch the not the last podcast, but podcast 20, E3 2021 thoughts, it is on YouTube. So if you want to go and watch that, I kind of covered all that. So if you're interested into that, you can go watch that podcast if you're interested. But I think that's all I wanted to be able to say is just about the minis because I honestly don't have anything else to really say. I mean, there's not much news going on in the gaming and news about anything else that's going on. So it's just kind of just dead for right now, just for this week. Um, so, but yeah. I hope that y'all looking forward to a mini. Hopefully, at least y'all pick some up. I don't know if you can really buy a mini anywhere else. E3 2020 was 21. 2020 didn't happen because of COVID. But if you want to go watch the podcast of my 2021 thoughts, go ahead. You'll hear my thoughts on all the conferences of what I think about them from like talking from like worst to like best, I think. And just kind of talking about how I feel on each conference. And kind of say like, is these games are exciting? Kind of going through the list of games that were shown as well. My disappointments. I used to have gaming magazines. I believe I'm still getting Game Informer and magazines from GameStop. But hopefully y'all are looking forward at this. And Nintendo is actually true on their word, true on their word. Then we should begin a another mini. I mean, they could possibly do like a Game Boy Mini. It would be cool if they include all, like if they do instead of because Game Boy Mini, it'll be hard to play on a tiny screen if they just release a mini and you can't plug it up. But it would be cool if you just now thinking about it. It would be kind of cool if you just combine Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games, into one package and like include maybe 60 games, 20 games from each the generation. I think that will be cool and you can play it on your big screen. I think that will be cool, but I don't know if Nintendo will do something like that. And I don't know how the design will be if they decide to include all minis together like that. I don't know how the design will look as well. If Nintendo's doing that. They said they were gonna possibly do minis, but who knows? I just want to talk about my thoughts and the minis that I have. I love the NES Mini. My NES Mini is hacked. So is my Super Nintendo. Both my minis are hacked. PlayStation Mini is different to a bit hacked, so I don't usually play on my Mini that much. But I do love every single one of them. I may not use them a whole time, but all of the minis they serve a good purpose. And I enjoy every single one of them. You know, being able to mod it, being able just to play it on like original Super Nintendo controller, like it's just the feels of it. I probably should get an 8-bit though, those controllers for my computer, but if I want to play like original Nintendo and I want to play with the controller, then I'll probably use the controller. Um, just because of that feel. So I hope y'all enjoy these podcasts. I know these podcasts are, have been a little bit short to what they usually are. But if I don't have anything to talk about and no one's suggesting like any topics, Dustin, by the way, if you are still here, you are always welcome in to submit a topic. As long as it's appropriate. If you want to hear me talk about a particular Bible verse, a particular food, my thoughts, or even if you want to be on these podcasts, you can always join the VC within the ideas group. Um, if you choose to do so, if you want to be there, you can. I'm always welcome to more topics and people to hear their thoughts. It'll be nice to have someone else to hear their thoughts. Like, what is your thoughts on the mini on the other side of the screen? But I can't do that because no one usually comes to these podcasts. Like, I appreciate you, Dustin, for coming out, and Formal Foundation that I don't think is here anymore. I appreciate both of y'all guys that came out to these podcasts. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, it will be SSM instead of just podcasts. Like I said at the beginning of this, is that we're going to be going in a new direction, a new fight. So instead of TNL, because we're not going to be TNL anymore. Like right now, it still says it on Twitch, it's still on YouTube. But however, it will change once we get the logo. Once we get someone that's creative to really design the logo really cool like and look really, really unique, for our Discord uh logo, for our Twitch logo, and our YouTube logo. So once we have that, we'll start calling it the SSM. Um, you know. So y'all have a great rest of the Friday. Oh, by the way, we do have a movie night if y'all choose to come to that. For those that's listening in the future on YouTube, our movies are Friday nights at 7 p.m. These podcasts are live streamed at 4 p.m. on Fridays and not go up until Tuesdays. So, come watch the movie with us tonight. we'll be watching The Good Dinosaur. We'll be finally moving on from Marvel to Pixar. So hopefully we get a little bit more people tonight since not many people were into Marvel. Because I'm just sitting here waiting for Loki, all the episodes to do that, and also Black Widow. But in the meantime, we're just going to go through all the Pixar, including Luca, the new one. So this is going to be a long ride, and also we'll be watching Pixar shorts. So keep that in mind as well. So I hope to see y'all tonight. Like I said, it will be the Good Dinosaur. For those that's listening in the future, next week, here's a peek for y'all next week. Next week will be The Incredibles. So if you're listening this on Tuesday, that means this Friday. I'm talking about YouTube in the future, so this Friday will be Incredibles. Right now, tonight, where I'm at right now, will be Good Dinosaur, but next will be The Incredibles. So I hope to see y'all there. To have fun, make sure to bring plenty of popcorn. We'd love to see you guys and girls there, and I hope that y'all enjoyed this podcast for what it is. Even though we had some random questions while I'm just sitting here talking about N64 Mini that has nothing to do with the N64 Mini, and apparently just left. So I don't know. But I appreciate any topics as long as it's appropriate and stuff. And like I said, if you want to come on these, you are welcome to come on these. But until then, I will see you guys and girls next time for the next podcast. If you just come to these, are for the movie nights, are for the ministry service that we do have on Saturday night. So if you want to come to them, they'll be tomorrow night at 7 p.m. with some fellowship, worship, positive message, all that fun stuff. So come out and listen to what God has to say through me. So until then, I will see you guys and girls whenever y'all come back. And thank y'all for showing up. And see y'all next time.